Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. I am Casper Moodie, your Champions host, and I would like to welcome you to my show today, where we will be looking at the word obsessive, a word that can play such a big role when you're struggling with the war against weight loss, and also when you win the war against weight loss. Good morning, Marina.
Good morning, Casper. I'm so excited to be here with you right now. And I know how much is going on, and I'm so grateful you managed to sleep less so you could share more.
Yes. No, I'm happy to be here again this morning. As we're going along the way, I was an interesting thing last night. I had dinner with Nikki and Josine from London, that is in South Africa at the moment, visiting family.
So we
And
had three our amazing hosts around the table.
exactly, and it was such an honor to meet her. What a lovely lady, and such a passion for what she's doing. Also, very little sleep and a lot of work, and it's all paying off for her. It's so glad to finally meet her last night.
Wow. So we had the Champions host, we had the Adventure Club host, and we had the Spring of Life host. Wonderful, brilliant.
Yeah, and it was great. And I told them last night, although my weight loss journey started a few years ago, and it's almost like when I see someone before the shows started, when I see someone and they come up to me and say, "Yeah, Casper, you're looking good. What are you doing?" And then I would just say, I'm eating better and I'm training hard. But before the shows, what my answer was. But actually doing the show now, I told Nikki last night, I'm actually going through all the emotions, the days that I've been going through in my school days. And when I think back, it was actually such a big road that I've been traveling, and it actually brings back so much memories now when I think back at it, and it's all because of the show. And I'm living my younger life again, and it's actually very awesome to see what I've been through.
You see, Casper, it's always good to distance yourself, and it's exactly the way you look at the painting. You see, when you go to a museum, and some people go very, very close, almost like smelling the painting. They can't see anything. It's
Yes.
almost like they want to enter inside the painting and they lose perspective. But what's happening to you now, you are looking at your life the right way. You distance yourself, and the painting that was your life and you're in now is a masterpiece. So everybody can look at it. And I don't know, perhaps you noticed on the Simple Truth, great conversation about champions with Casper Moodie. On the book cover, your your picture is the masterpiece. You are the masterpiece. You turn yourself from an ordinary life, from the life of the young boy who was fat and was called names, and he was the fat boy. You turn into the champion of your own life. And that is what this show is about, is how you turn yourself from somebody who was afraid, somebody who was struggling, somebody who was was panicking each time he had to meet other people, into somebody who is sharing his life. Every single moment of your life is on display. You are camera close all the time. Everything you are doing is inspiring people around you, and you are the same person, just you know, right now you know, you are the champion. There is no way of going back. There is no looking back. And this is what our listeners are mesmerized by, is your power to turn your fear into love, and to turn everything that wasn't consistent with your dreams, with your vision, into redundant ideas, and become the person you're designed to be. Over to you, Caspar.
That's correct, Marina. Yeah, like I said, going through the shows and going back to the journey, going out was a tough thing for me. Meeting new people, I remember going to restaurants with my family. I would also always ask them to walk in first. then I would just look at the heels when I walk behind them. I'm so afraid that when I walk into the restaurant, I see someone that I recognize. Although I did nothing wrong, I just was ashamed of who I am, the way I looked, and I'm going into a public area where there's food again. So obviously it's this big guy walking into the restaurant again, and I'm really not there just to drink water. I'm there to eat. So yeah, that changed a lot. You're so much more confident. I was walking alone. When I walk into a restaurant alone, I wanted to go to the bathroom. I would sit in a restaurant for 3 hours with my friends or family and not go to the bathroom because I don't want to walk through all the people towards the bathroom. Or I'll take out my cell phone and I'll pretend that I'm on my phone texting someone while I'm walking through the people, just not to lift up my face before I recognize someone. And that feeling now, example, last night we were meeting at the big shopping mall in Pretoria. I was there first, and the confidence you have nowadays is, you've been working hard. There's nothing to be ashamed of, and all the hard work has paid off. I walked into the restaurant, no one was there yet. I asked for a table for 8, and I was sitting alone, and I could look at people. Life is just, you look at life completely different. First of all, in a positive way. And that's why I come back this morning. I want to talk about the word obsessive. That can be a good thing and a bad thing. Firstly, when you struggle with your fight against weight, it's because of mostly 99% of the time, it's because your obsession with food. Whenever you're going through difficult times, you turn towards food for comfort. When you're alone and you're bored, you go to food for comfort. When you go out with friends, it's always grabbing fast food because it's fast and it's cheap. So food is always a thing you turn to when things aren't going your way. And that's, before you know it, you've got an obsession with food, because everything that goes wrong in your life or you're looking to escape, it's always towards food. And that's where the obsession comes in. And you don't realize it. It takes time before you realize that actually food is your escape. Small things, like walking to the kitchen to go get water, and there's a chocolate next to the fridge. You grab that, you eat that without thinking, why am I eating it? You're just eating it because it is there. It's an obsession. You want to have something. It keeps you busy. Your mouth must be going up and down when you're alone. There's no one to talk to, so you go towards food. And it can be a bad obsession. And same when you start training. Obsession can be good and bad. When you start losing weight, you can have an obsession with training. You put in more effort. You try and eat more healthy, and you start seeing results. So you train more and more, and you start being more strict with what you eat. And that's where you have to have a balance when fighting this war against weight. You have to fuel your body the right amounts of food and the right food so that it can function for the amount of training you're putting in to reach that goal. And like I was saying, if you don't fuel your body 100% or 90% towards what you're training, you will start picking up injuries, and injuries will take you away from training. So now all of a sudden you can't train as much as what you wanted to, so you start eating less. And by eating less, you're also not fueling your body. So then you're looking at things like anorexia, that also is as big as a problem as obese people is. Anorexia is just as big, and it can happen so quick as well. So what I'm trying to get down to is there must be a balance. Remember, a journey to weight loss is 70% what you eat and 30% how you train. So you need to keep that balance right to keep a healthy body. And when you have that balance and you start learning your body, there's a long, healthy life ahead of you.
I think we lost connection for a few minutes. We will have Casper back. I'm sure he will be back. I just wanted to point out that there is a very fine balance between obsessive food and addiction to food. And of course, most of the time, addiction to food is as bad as any addiction, and the effects could be devastating, and not only on the short term but on the long term. Casper was mentioning the emotional hunger. So when you go through such difficult times with yourself, with making the right choices, you turn into food for comfort. And this is one of um, the major issues that will create a very difficult style of life. Exercising and feeding your body the right way are two of the most important elements each one of us experience some point in our lives. And keeping the balance, keeping that 20/80 is very, very hard. So Casper was dedicating his latest years in his other life to creating that balance and getting that right each time. And now he's using the same formula to help young people aged between 7 years old and 16 years old. So they will never slip into that addiction for food. They will never forget that what is in life is very important to follow your dream and turn that vision you have in your mind about yourself into a reality, into your own reality. Caspar, are you back?
Yes, I'm here, Marina.
Yes, over to you. We lost you there for a few minutes, so I had to. Yes, over to you.
Oh, sorry for that. Now I don't know where I went. I was still here on the same spot. But yes, getting back to it, Marina, when you talk to people that's overweight and you tell them try and make small changes, try and be healthy, the first thing 90% of them say is, but there's nothing wrong with me. I wake up in the morning, I have energy, I go to work, but you're overweight. And you stress things like diabetes, type 2 diabetes is a common thing when it comes to being overweight. I know a lot of people are lost a grandfather because of diabetes. Uh, it doesn't happen. You feel fine now, but tomorrow you can wake up and there'll be a slight change in thing. You might feel a bit tired, so you would think, okay, it's just I didn't have a good night's rest, but that might be something that's starting to give you that wake up call to say, hey, I need to look back at my diet. I need to look back the way I'm living life and make small changes. And if you feel better, you know that it's because I'm been making small changes and healthy changes. And that's where the balance comes in. It takes a while to get that balance between training and eating right. But that's how you learn your body. When you do certain amount of training and you eat certain types of food, your body will react. You will feel the difference. It'll be either good or bad. And then you know, and that's how you make small changes each day until you get that 70-30% balance, what I'm saying about 30% training, 70% what you eat. And before you know it, you've got that balance and you can live a normal life where you know, tonight I'm going out with friends. I can do this and this and this because tomorrow I'm going to be training this and this, and then I'll eat this and this to keep that balance up. And that's how you keep your weight down as well and keep healthy. And if I take myself to other friends, the amount of times they have flu or some kind of illness during the year, just because of not being looking after their body. It's winter now in South Africa, so obviously vegetables play a big role. Portion sizes, training, keep warm, all of that plays a big role in being healthy and getting a good obsession for training and food. Over to you, Marina. Are you still there?
Yes, I was thinking right now that what you are saying to our listeners right now is basically very simply half your meals, double your exercise, and love yourself with passion. Because is nobody who can eat for you, is nobody who can exercise for you, is nobody else, is nobody in between. And the only person who can make that change is when you decide to make the change. Regardless how many people are telling you it's not healthy to be eating so much, it's not healthy not to exercise, your mind doesn't understand um, time. Your mind doesn't understand no. So you really have to tell your mind with the right words what is that you want. So if you really want to have a beautiful life, to be surrounded by friends and people who love you, and join them when they go out, and join them when they celebrate their own life, and when they have gatherings, and when they go away, the only way is to decide that this is who I want to be. I want to be a healthy person. Nobody wants to be in a company of miserable people. Everybody is fed up with their own misery. They want people who are exciting. They want people who go out and do things. They want powerful people. They want to surround themselves with people who are ready to take the next leap of faith and do the next big thing. And they are all together into this journey, because you never know what's happening. Anything can happen, and it's important to remember that all we have is right now. Right now, it's the only asset you have, and today, right now, is a gift, and it's called the present for a reason. It is a gift of life. Over to you, Caspar.
Yes, Marina, it's simple. It's when you wake up in the morning and you need to get to work, you get in your car and the car is running empty on fuel. What do? You stop at the fuel station to put in petrol to get to where you want to be. Your car's low on oil, you put in oil so that the car doesn't break down. The same with your body. You living in that body, look after that body so that you can live day by day and have a happy life. Feed your body. The same as what you, with anything in life that needs a lifespan, you have to look after something to make it last. And why not start with yourself? Be happy with who you are. Be healthy. And the nice thing I was saying or seeing also last night, Josine's brother, I'm starting up a thing with him, Maxwell. He's a little bit overweight, and he asked me for help. And last night we had a good chat. We set out such a nice goal, and to do a 5K a run before the London Awards. And he wants to lose 20 kilograms before the London Awards. So we've set ourselves a challenge and a target. And to see him so excited and the journey ahead, if I can see that in everybody that wants to make a change, it'll make the world a difference. So we're going to take on this journey as well, and I'm going to teach him a balanced lifestyle, healthy meals, training activities every day, and simple things. He's got a very busy schedule with his work, but he's going to make time for that, and he's going to be a great example for those people that always use the excuse, I don't have time. If you have 20 minutes a day, and everybody's got 20 minutes at least a day to take aside for training and being healthy, then there's no excuse not to be healthy, Marina. No excuse at all.
Wow, Caspar, this is breaking news. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see progress. And I hope you'll update us on the progress you make together on this journey. You know, I was thinking that that emotional hunger you're talking about at the beginning. How was that operating for you? I mean, I know it was controlling your life, and I know you couldn't escape. It was like an entrapment. But how you felt when you had perhaps the only drop of energy left was for you to eat instead of deciding how much you eat?
Yes, Marina, food is like almost a swear word in my vocabulary now. Every time, every day, every time, I can't even mention how many times a day I turn to food, and sometimes not even because I was lonely anymore or upset anymore. I just turned towards food because food was there and not the right food. I can tell you now, as a youngster, our family stayed in one street, in one road in Johannesburg. We were down at the bottom. My gran was on the corner, and my uncle was right next to, or is still right next to them. And some weeks I would have dinner with my parents at home, or I'll phone my gran and ask what they have for dinner. I'll phone my cousin and ask what do they have for dinner. And whoever's got the nicest dinner, I would go there just because food was freely available. I didn't have someone to help me with the choices. So yes, it started by being lonely, then you go towards food, or you're facing some difficult times, you go towards food. But all of a sudden, you don't even need those anymore to turn to food. You just look for it and it is there. And you don't have someone to help you make those choices. So I ended up going up to my grand, have dinner there. We'll go next door to my aunt, go eat there, and then come home and eat at home. So I'll have 3 dinners within the space of 2.5 hours, just because purely there was nice food available and I didn't have someone to show me what's right and what's wrong. I just kept on eating, and your family loves you. And whenever you get to your aunt or your grand, they will say, oh, look at Casper, so adorable, such a nice little round boy. And they just show love. But then you feel wanted and you feel there's nothing wrong with you, where you want someone. That's where it comes in with the Champions League, someone that can help you. I want the parents to be there when I talk to the kids, because that's where the kid cannot decide for himself. Otherwise, I would have decided for myself when I was 8 or 9 that, hey, Casper, to be 10 years old and you weigh 70 kilograms and your friends are all 40 or 50, something must be wrong. I didn't have someone to tell me that. I thought everything was fine at the moment, and I just carried on and carried on. So you need that the adult in your life, your mom, your dad, your grand. I don't say you must stop. Grand is there to spoil you. Your mother and your father is there to look after you and spoil you. But they can't send you down this road where you're going to be struggling once you start realizing you're different than others, because that can break you down. That can make life so much worse for you. Like high school for me, there wasn't enjoyable days for me. Yeah, there were some days where you had good times with friends and stuff, but you always knew, I'll have to make a plan. I'm the fat kid. And yeah, parents play a huge role in this, Marina.
Wow. So, I'm thinking, Caspar, that from the other hand, life is beautiful when you don't need to count calories. And when you could hold that joy of eating healthy. But from the other hand, is it's almost like the bank of your food, or the choices, the food choices you are making are the vault of your happiness. It's like a bank account. So good food choices are almost like the best investment you ever made.
A healthy
and
account,
and
yes.
and sometimes I'm thinking, but food doesn't make you fat. It's how much you eat that makes you fat.
Yes, Marina. Portion sizes is the important thing. And last night, I use it as example again. We were all sitting around the table, and I told Maxwell, I said, it's not a jail sentence or a death sentence when you go on a diet. We were sitting there. I ordered my food. I had chicken breast and mixed vegetables and a cappuccino. And I mean, that's food that's healthy. You still there, Marina?
Yes, we lost you for a moment.
Sorry. Yeah, I was saying we were all sitting around the table last night and we ordered food. And I showed Maxwell, I said, you can still live a happy life. Go out with your wife and kids. All restaurants nowadays have food available for you to eat, healthy foods. I had chicken breasts and mixed vegetables. Nikki had a salad, chicken salad, and I'm not sure what was all in that salad, but it was all healthy food that you're allowed to eat. And yes, for dessert, I did have a cheesecake, because I knew that
Wow, Casper.
I knew the amount of training I put in yesterday and what I am doing. I was up at 4:30 this morning to do a 15-kilometer run with some of my friends. So last night I had that cheesecake, because I knew today I've got another 3 or 4 hour a day of training, because I have to swim this afternoon as well again. So that's where it comes in, that balance that I'm talking about. Last night I enjoyed myself. I had a healthy main meal. I had a cheap dessert, but I knew I can, because I had the training yesterday and I'm doing the training again today. That's how life is. It's not a jail sentence, Marina. You can still live life to the full.
Wow, Caspar. So before you go, I know we are we're supposed to finish by now, but I'm sure our listeners would like to know what's happening in your life. You live your life as a champion. You are the champion of your own life, but you are a true champion. So tell us what's happening. What happened since we last spoke last week, and what's happening in the weeks coming now?
Yeah, Marina, I was sick last week, so not a lot of training for me, or not doing anything at all except eating healthy and trying to recover. And I went to the festival last weekend with my friends, big festival, and it was so much fun, as the people can see on my Facebook. And yeah, this week was straight back into training. This is my last week at home. Next week, I'll be back in Pretoria with the squat training before I leave for Nelspruit next week, Friday, for a race on Saturday. Sunday morning, I'll be traveling back to Johannesburg, and Sunday night, I'm off to France to start my second half of the year, which will just be a lot of traveling and racing, and also the awards in London. And then also, when I get back from France, I will be starting my first talk at a primary school about the Champions League. And then I'm going to get this Champions League program off the ground, and I'm going to go help thousands of people out there. And I'm sure I'm going to succeed in that, Marina.
Wow, Casper, you know what? I want our listeners to listen again to what you just said. Just replay this part with everything that's happened in your life because you created your life. You decided, I am a champion, and even nobody believes in me yet. Nobody thinks I can lose all this weight, extra weight, and nobody think I'm able to go through the the horror of having skin removal operations and all the hardship that you went through. Look at you now. And I want our listener to really, truly replay this part when you said that what's happened in your life is traveling the world, training, being out there with the best of people ever, with this heart of yours, which is getting bigger and bigger by the day. So from both of us, until next time, remember, food doesn't make you fat. How much we eat makes you fat. Goodbye.
That's correct, Marina. Goodbye.